Okay, so let's see. Now that we're done at least with the boy. Oh, and I should probably go retrieve those other portraits because it'll be faster for me to do those in Illustrator. So we could do some character heads, or we could do some mapping. I guess actually, if you guys wanna, actually want to chime in, should I work on characters or should I work on maps? Because I'm down for either. What is this? This is nothing. I'll just delete that. Do I have? Yes. So I think this is my collected asset library for mapping and so on and so forth, which is actually shockingly small. Okay. Actually, what I should do is probably just save this here. I should probably rename this. Okay. Maps, characters, maps. Okay, so it's even split. So let's work on a map for at least a little bit, and then we'll go work on some characters. So this is Hazelhall. Let's delete pretty much everything that's here. What is this stuff? Just spare details. Is this just floor texture? Oh, no, it's that floor texture. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any weird assets that I should rescue before I delete it all. And the answer is no. Okay. Next order of business. Make sure all of this is on the correct layer. I should probably organize this at some point to floors. Door pieces and whatnot. If I ever want to sell any of this, I'm gonna have to do that. People would be upset otherwise. So I'm gonna reorganize just for a bit before we get too far into this whole mapping business. Let's see. How would you feel? Hey, here you go. Here's my entire asset library. This is a disorganized mess. I know, deal with it. I think we might also have some redundancies here. Maybe? Yeah. Okay, so I can just delete this. I don't even know why I had all that sitting around. Okay, move that stuff over. These are most of my basic pieces, which I'll probably have to replace at some point. These are a little bit more specialized. I'll have to think about how I want to use them. Okay. Wanda, did you ever finish the Owlbear Baby? No, I didn't. I should go back to that at some point. Okay, so this is unnecessary. So, this is going to be... This is all in a forest. Honestly, this entire story takes place largely in the woods. So we want to have a nice green background. The hell's with the... Huh. That center point is new. Not that I'm actually too bothered by this. What's the most ridiculous thing I've ever done in D&D? Any of you guys ever hear of the Deck of Many Things? I'm sure a number of people probably have. It's an artifact, I think? I think it's an artifact. And the Deck of Many Things it's a card, I think it's a tarot deck? And each card has a special effect. Some might delete you from the universe, some might give you some items, some might take a level, give a level. I forget exactly all of the effects, but it was a long dungeon, and the entire point of it was like, my character was a druid, but it wasn't just a druid, I was like a fanatic for some NPC. Like, my character fervently believed in this nature god. And over the course of this story, it becomes quickly apparent that the thing that my character worships is quite dead and had been killed by the main villain. To the point where my character more or less didn't give up on life, but was so royally pissed off that more or less he gets to the final boss, and the final boss realizes can't beat us in a fight. You know, we're a fairly accomplished group of adventurers. We're fairly tough. Maybe he even tried fighting us and it didn't work so hot. And so his solution was to challenge us to a one-on-one duel using the deck of many things. Which is stupid. Because, like, all players at some core level are murder hobos. And so, when it came down to it, my character had lost his reason to exist as a result of this villain. And so my character did what made sense, which was very much to sit there, and the rules were you could draw one card or two. And the guy had foresight abilities and knew which cards were coming up. Like, my brother was the DM, and he was effectively cheating. He knew which cards were going to be good and bad. Like, he had the whole deck flipped over for him. And so did the villain. And so we start flipping, and almost immediately the villain's like, oh no, I made a mistake. Because he would draw a card, gain a level. I would draw 2 cards, lose 2 levels and an arm. But no matter what, I was just drawing cards non-stop. Maximum amount every time. I could only draw 2, and I would draw 2. He would draw 1 or 2, kind of depending. But there was a particular spell where no matter what he drew, he was not going to be able to avoid me getting some, like, absolute bangers from the deck. And we get to that point, and I wished him out of existence right then and there. You know, with the villain, of course, had some kind of spiel of, like, you don't want to do this, I'm your only hope to get your whatever back. And I'm just like, I don't care. And then, like, at that point, my character went, I'm not going to say full murder hobo, but, like, he very much had kind of given up on a lot. You know, obviously his life was not doing... his life wasn't great at that point. And so his solution was to just kind of become a low-key berserker afterwards. And so... let's see. So, like, I think eventually we ran across some other, like, major villain, and I was a druid. But whenever I go druid in 3rd edition, I usually go druid grappling specialist, because nothing is more terrifying than an octopus with 3rd edition grappling rules. At which point, you know, fighting this major villain, we hate his guts. He's done horrible things. And he's got a sphere of annihilation that he's using for something or other, and maybe he's going to annihilate reality. I just go full octopus and drag the asshole into the sphere of annihilation with my character. But my character's, like, had wildly outlived his lease on life. Like, he was done. He was supposed to have died a long time ago. And yet he was still going, and he was mad at everything. And so I figured the best way to make this guy go was to drag, effectively, the end boss of the entire campaign into a sphere of annihilation with my main character. I think my brother learned after that point to never put me near artifacts, because there were a couple other things that would happen, like, we had these lanterns that made you into, like, superhuman weird things. Is there any difference between these two? No. So as long as you had a lantern on you, you were, like, near on invincible or something like that. And I stole it from a major villain. I think it was the guy that I even dragged into the Sphere of Annihilation at a later date. I stole it from him and then proceeded to absolutely murk the villain. And unfortunately, my brother's campaign needed this villain to survive, otherwise the campaign was over right then and there. And so he ended up actually ass-pulling the villain to survive, which I was quite pissed about, hence the Sphere of Annihilation bit. But I think between those 3 different circumstances, it was super obvious, never ever let me anywhere near an artifact, because it was always going to go bad. And I'm quite proud of that, even if, yeah, it did involve him effectively stopping me with Deus Ex Machina just to save his own campaign. Okay, let's see. Wander, how's your assets going? Fairly well, I think. I'm a little stuck, because I gotta figure out what to do here. Because it's a big map, and there's not immediately a whole lot that I want to do with it. Let's see, so now you're forever the DM? I just haven't met anybody else that I trust to DM for me. I guess would be the good way to put it. We had a long Wander rant yesterday, whoops, of me talking about a particularly mediocre DM that more or less went along with the party in turning my character into a glorified heal bot and nothing more. And that was really frustrating to me. And the DM was just like, well, this is your role in the party. If you wanted something else, you should have convinced them to let you play something else. And this is like 4th edition Cleric, which absolutely had other things that they could do other than heal. But nope, it was going to be that or nothing more. And so, I haven't run into another Dungeon Master that I've enjoyed. My brother is fairly good at coming up with, like, fun stories and interesting stuff, but his sense of balance is a little thrown off. It's really hard to write a campaign in such a way that, like, a villain is threatening. And I tend to play a bit munchkin-y, so in order to beat me... That's yours, you can eat it. I'll get myself food later, I'm not super hungry. So, like, I remember at one point we were on the road, and just a lich on a horse attacked us, and there was no beating it. I think my character got 1 shot and some other stuff, and we had to be saved by a frost giant. I was kind of salty about that, just because it was just like, I don't really like insta-lose things in D&D. I think I've mellowed out now, but at the time I was just like, man, this is dumb. I don't like this. And we had some other similar issues later on in that campaign. Nowadays, I'm more roleplay centric, but at the time I was just like, way. I mean, it wasn't so much that I only wanted combat, it's that my character was supposed to be the lore master, and then you're like, I'm the lore master, and then I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have an identity anymore. I guess I'm just going to be an angry wrestler that was supposed to be, like, power mad, but I never got the opportunity to do that either, because the whole party wouldn't survive without me being kind of aggressive. So I ended up just being evil, but not evil. Okay, so we need to make... I'm just kind of spinning my wheels here. We need to make buildings. Let's see, I want it to be this, maybe? Ugh, that's a bit much. Turn that down just by a smidge, make that a bit darker. Okay, let's turn on window, snap to grid. I see that there is no grid. Oh, I see. The grid is too loose. There we go. Oh, I absolutely hate the grid in this game. In Illustrator. I always just make my own grid instead. Yeah, it's always 70 pixels. I put this together a long time ago. This is Hazelhall. I guess I should probably actually give this a thick black outline. This is just for layouts, Shell. So is that might be a bit big. Well, that actually, I should probably have these be like side hallways. Or maybe... Because I effectively want this to be a back room. Hallways, and then maybe like a side wing here and here. This is a little bit more phallic than I meant it to be. It's also a bit symmetrical. Also, long versus wide? Isn't the rule 20 grid 75 or 72 pixels, though? Nope, it's 70. I think it's normally supposed to be 72, but I turned it to 70 for mine. You can change it to whatever you want in the options. I need to look at more maps. I used to have a giant compilation of some of the best maps Wizards of the Coast ever put out. But that was like 20 years ago, so I've kind of totally lost all of them. And it sucks. Because there's some absolutely stunning maps that have just, like, disappeared. They had, like, whole towns and giant nonsense. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It was beautiful. Nowadays, like, if I want to find good maps, it's pretty much just like I have to delve through Pinterest, and I don't like Pinterest. I just didn't like Pinterest that much. It's not the worst, but it's like, eh. This is going to be like a... Oh. I find those to be a little bit low on detail, which is my one issue. Yeah. Okay, here, I'll take this. Which book is this? Ravnica. Alright. The one problem with this is these have, like, really nice cross-hatching. Oh, I see how they have it. Okay. Let's delete a bunch of these for a second. Oh, shoot. Am I putting this all on the... No, I'm not. I'm putting it all on the wrong layers. That's a problem. What are you doing? There we go. But not you, Shell. What's up? Oh. Okay. I can... Okay. Like I said, was going to be fast. So... we want to have a big we want to have a big building. That's an absolute gimme. What the hell button is this? Live paint bucket. Aw. Why does this one look weird? I guess it's just zooming. Okay. So we want to have a building that is some part like meeting area. Some part Man, yeah, it's been a while since I've done any level of map design. Okay. Let's just start blocking things out like I was doing earlier. It's easier if I just do it purely kind of random. I guess central to this building, no matter what, we need to have. Do you want to do it something like this? Definitely needs a room in the back. But otherwise, let's make it a bit wider. Okay, you can have it. Oh, Shell actually needs this to make her character. Yeah, I did. Okay. So we're gonna have some kind of, like, throne room dais plus a secret room, probably back here. So we want this to go down just, like, a little bit further. Probably that far. Because if I put the main throne's, like, right here... Or even just up against the wall. The secret door is you have to actually press against. This still gives people, what? A solid 30 feet? 30 feet to enter the room. Okay. Double doors there. We should probably pull this back up a bit. Side rooms along the way. Okay. So... I think staircase there that goes up. Let's see. Rooms here. I wonder... God damn it. All of these end up looking like dicks. It is a curse. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. They're all, it's Cocktown. I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit more. We might as well have this be kind of its own thing. Longer room. Kitchen in the back. I just don't want my, like, main town to just be like, welcome to the castle. It's a giant dick. It signifies the power of the king. Be a bit much. Okay. So something like that. Entry hall, dining hall, feast hall, whatever. Meeting hall with the king. Kitchen, back room, stairs up. And yeah, then there will be an upper layer that I can bring in if desired. Thank God I'm not the only one that has that issue when making maps. It's a problem. It's a legit problem. Okay, we're gonna move this up by a bit and back over. So this is a straight up, like, ruined castle. I don't think there's going to be much. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna move this here. I'm actually going to have... I'm actually going to have one of these lead downstairs and then upstairs. So you usually make your own stories in D&D, yeah? I always do. The Viking Schlonghouse. Oh no. Yeah. It is... I mean... Why not? Okay. Do I move that back there? Just kind of have like a little seating whatever room. Actually, alternatively... that up like that. I can definitely turn this into more of its own room. If I expand like that. Okay, there we go. Grab that. We're gonna have a gatehouse over here. Admittedly, no one lives here. Why is it that only one expands down? I have no idea. Before like that? Yeah. Okay, now it's moving down. That's very strange. Let's see, gatehouse have a small broken gate on it. I mean, there's just no gate. This place has been in ruins for who knows how long. So the idea of like actually having a functional gate is laughable at best. Maybe it'll have some like barricades or something, but I don't really know. Your players might go into the gatehouse, though. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely something that you can go into. Would that be it? Okay. So, it has that. What else do we have? We have this. Would this have a back door? Not on either of these rooms, no. Because this would be a bedroom, or a bedroom storeroom? Kind of main room. And then like a field. Should probably get the field down now. Let's see. Do I? So, go back to this, go back to this. Yeah, the only problem I have very specifically with this kind of design, maybe... because I wish I could have diagonal buildings. Because you'd... well, I guess we could have kind of a main thoroughfare. Or at least what was a main thoroughfare. Let's get, like, a fountain down. Admittedly, I'm gonna have to do the fountain myself. Aren't I? Actually, here's what we can do. Because we can put a bunch of these and then bury them a little bit. You know, some kind of square. What are you doing? They're a little small. And they're not perfect. But I guess what I could do... Group these up. Select... Same stroke color. Or, no. Select same fill color. If I set this to a green... Wait. Not that dark. 38 and drop that a bit. Okay, what I can do is actually have some kind of... Oops. My keyboard commands. They've been changed. It's the one problem with updating anything. Is that your keyboard commands get butchered. It's just like, what? You had keyboard commands? Funny joke! And then it's just all gone. But yeah, let's just have these stones kind of... exist in the middle of this. Do we want to make them darker? Yeah, probably should. Select same fill color. Do we want to make these darker and greener? Do we want to have them? No. Okay. So snap to grid. And then I can have like a fountain kind of around here. So is that the same thing? That is the same thing. That's the one thing I have to avoid. Is that a lot of these pieces are actually identical. And ideally, eventually I'd like to have a large selection of all of these to pull from. For the sake of bonus variety, but hard. Let's grab this. We'll make at least one new one. View, snap to grid. Back to this. It's weird. I almost feel like I'm better at talking while I'm working in ProCreate nowadays. I was not expecting that. Illustrator is my, like, old go-to. This is the program that I always used. Not so much anymore. Okay, today's the last day before you ship off to basic training. You're gonna spend it watching Wander. Wow! That's a big life change. I wish you luck. And I guess I'm weirdly honored that you'd spend your last day hanging out and watching me. Don't forget to hang out with people, other people that matter too, if you have anyone else. And one friend who more or less disappeared to basic. Nobody knew what happened to him. We honestly thought he died, and then one day saw pictures of him crop up in... I think it was still Afghanistan. That was a weird one. I think he got back alright. Didn't really keep in touch after that. He was the, he was our tank in WoW, which is part of the reason why we were super confused and concerned as to why he disappeared, because he didn't say biscuits to any of us. But then again, the Guildmaster had done some pretty horrid business, so can't really blame him for ghosting everybody. I was a little taken aback, but that was just because it was, well, I was not nearly as bad as the Guildmaster. Okay, that's a nice biggin. Oops. Grab that there. Just gonna recolor the rest of this to match. Because, yeah, if I just have a large stock of these, like, random pieces that I can use whenever I want, it'll make it so much easier on me. Yeah. I swear I had one of these have, like, a dark spot in it. I guess not. I don't want it to be that dark. There we go. Of course, I've been watching you for years. This seems right to you. Did spend time with family, but don't have many friends. Saved me in high school, so thanks for being you all this time. Well, yeah, doubly honored now. I'm glad to help. I was watching Northern Lion. Trust me, this will make sense in a bit. I was watching Northern Lion recently. He was talking about how he's kind of changing up his content. I think for a very good reason. I think his changes are good and they make sense and blah blah blah. But you know, I'm always kind of invested in what other creators kind of do. And he was talking about how, for years, he always felt like it's very much like imposter syndrome. And I think I've dealt with that a little bit. That it's always super weird to hear how much I help people, because, you know, I'm just some guy that plays video games, but it is extremely validating and extremely nice whenever anybody is like, yeah, you were actually, like, super important to me during a hard time or something like that. That really keeps the imposter syndrome off. Oops. Is that good? Yeah, this looks mostly good. Intersect those. Might want to make this a little greener. Maybe. I'll think about it. Might be better for me to actually have this be its kind of own thing. Eh. It's kind of murky and... not the most... appealing looking fountains I've ever done. I guess if I do that, that helps a lot. Okay, there we go. That helps quite a lot, actually. Also, thank you, Mini Murgle, for gifting a sub to Tyler. Right before he goes off to basic. That's extremely kind of you. Thank you. Oops. Oh, this is all on the wrong layer. I was wondering why the grid was not functioning right. There we go. Sometimes people just need to hear a friendly voice to brighten their day. You definitely are a friendly sounding person. Yeah, I try to be. Sometimes I can be an absolute grouch, and I feel really bad about that. But I try very hard to be super cool and kind. Most of the time. I always feel really guilty if I ever get upset about something. Like on camera, I will end the stream and then afterwards being like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been like way chiller than I was. It will keep me up sometimes. Because, yeah, there's no point in being an angry person, at least from my perspective. It certainly doesn't help with my brand. It certainly doesn't help most of you guys. There are a couple of times where it's okay to be pissed, but most of the time, eh. Let's see, is that good? Do I want to do that? I could. The only thing I ever see Wanderer get upset about is backseat gaming, but who can blame him? A lot of people can, apparently. There's... That one gets funky, because it's like... There's a subset of people that are just, like, absolutely furious at me anytime I bring that one up. I don't want to spend too much time working on the details on this pseudo fountain water pool. A little bit, though. Other games have I gotten mad at? Ratropolis. I get mad at Ratropolis, which sucks a little bit, because that game is super good. It just... Whoever's in charge of balancing that game needs to learn how to chill. Because, oh boy, that game makes me angry. Sucks, because if it was properly balanced and like really well handled in that regard, it honestly would be one of my favorite games to come out of last year. As it stands, it's just like 90%, 80-90% there, and then not quite the rest of the way, and it's like, no, you're the chosen one. You're going to be kingdom, but not super boring after like the third run. Let's see. Haven't been keeping up with Ratropolis. What's the balance issue? I mean, for starters, the game is just kind of inherent. Like, there are certain RNG that just make the game unwinnable from the start. Say you just don't get a certain money card, and you're kind of just like stuck with cheese for the entire game, or Maybe no units spawn except for the very basic starting grubbins, which is, to say, really worthless in combat. So, like, you'd just be stuck with the basic militia and nothing more. And that's just bad. Like, they just get one shot. They're not strong, and they're not worth keeping around. And sometimes, yeah, you just don't have a choice. But to use them until you inevitably lose, and it's just like, ah. And then the shop rat comes along and it's like, hey, by the way, you want to buy more militia? And I'm like, no! There's no point in the game where I feel like a burning need to use that card ever. And yet. Let's see, did I ever finish Digimon Hacker's Memory? I have not. I've actually, I didn't like that one as much as the first one, because it's a little bit more, I'm gonna say tropey. There was a lot more, like, anime stuff in it that I was not a fan of, from, like, weird pseudo-romance stuff, and, like, how to make friends in incredibly creepy manners, and so I actually never got around to finishing that one, just because it didn't feel good to me. I would like to, just because. If we get another Digimon game announced, I will probably sit down and blast through as much of Hacker's Memory as I possibly can. Let's see, any series in particular you'd ever want to return to? That's an interesting one. There's definitely a number of pseudo JRPGs that I'd like to go back to at some point. Mostly JRPGs that I'd like to go back to, just because they tend to be more engaging and I'd like to see the end. Unfortunately, I usually quit them for a very specific reason. Usually because they're too long. Let me think about that one a little bit. I mean, Hacker's Memory is definitely up there just because of how much I like Digimon. Same thing kind of with Dragon Quest. Ooh, that's a toughie. Not quite the same. I always felt guilty that I never finished my vault in Never Leave the Vault. Unfortunately, the mod's, like, straight up bugged out, and I lost the save file, so I can't go back to it even if I wanted to. But, like, I always felt kind of guilty that my Never Leave the Vault series was unfinished. A couple other, like, Fallout-y things. Yeah, Digimon Survive is coming this year. Unfortunately, I just do not have the, what is it? I don't have a release date, and so I don't have time to just immediately dive into a Digimon game as such. I mean, I do, technically. I actually have a lot of free time this month, which has been nice. Though I'm going to be busier for at least a week or two. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily finish Warcraft Reforged. I know Shell is super passionate about that. It really depends on how much is different. Warcraft? Let's see. There we go. It's good enough. Whoops. See, ever considered Utaremono a try? Pretty great light tactics RPG. Might as well look at this. Udaware. Or Utuware Rumono. There we go. I think when it boils down to it, I think this screenshot is actually why I didn't... I think it was this screenshot that made me just kind of pass on it. Oh, apparently this just came out. But just seeing stuff like this is usually not something I'm super keen on. It's seeing whenever I'm, like, looking at a game. I like me some old school Fire Emblem. And
there was only one DVD in the library.
Yeah, and there's a very real possibility that, like, it's actually totally fine. It's just one of those where it's like, I only have so much time in a given day. Given day, week, whatever. And so... I may be a pretty big weeb, but I also am, like, super strapped for time always. And, yeah, I don't really like fan service, or even, like, overwhelming, JRPG tropes. Because... it's just an instant turn-off. Whenever that sort of thing pops up in a series that I'm watching, I'm just like... I've lost interest, and there's not much I can do about it. And it sucks, because, yeah, I'm sure it is actually good. But, like, how long does it take to beat? Yeah, how long to beat Udawari? Yeah. Oh, jeez. I mean, I'm sure some of them are shorter than this, but, like... When did we finish recording Atelier Ryza, Shell? I don't remember. One way or another, let's see. We might as well just talk about this for a bit. I'm just gonna get off topic. So how long to beat Atelier Ryza? Nope, that's not it. There we go. Atelier Ryza is about half the duration of Udawari Rumono, give or take. We probably took a little bit longer than 25 hours. But, like, it took us 32 episodes, each about an hour long, to finish Atelier Ryza. For Udawari Rumono... I can't even pronounce it. Anyway. Yeah, Udawari Rumono. For that game, for example, if I wanted to finish it, it would probably take... it would probably take upwards of 60, 70 episodes or something to that extent. And the problem is there's a lot of JRPGs that come out fairly often. I'm just gonna have that there as just a basic door. Okay, are you 70 by 70? You should be 70 by 70. Perfect. I'm just gonna make this one transparent. There we go. Now we've got a sideways door asset. But yeah, so for every single one of those, like, Yeah, a whole month. Well, yeah, a whole month for Atelier Ryza. 2 whole months just to release the entirety of a JRPG series and stuff. And so, say each month has 1 or 2 JRPGs that come out. If I were to play all of them, then I would be on a cycle of about 8 to 10 JRPG playthroughs simultaneously always. And, I mean, obviously I wouldn't play every JRPG, but, like, I already put out 6 to 8 to 10 videos a day. The more JRPGs I add onto that list, the more my channel becomes bogged down with something specific. And it sucks for me because I really do like JRPGs. I think they tend to be some of the more interesting games that I do play. It just puts me in this awkward position of, like, how much do I sacrifice just to play this game? And for some of them, it's worth it. For some of them, like, I need a comfort food game that I can just sit down and play for, like, hours and hours on end and be totally fine with stuff. But other times, it's very much like, I'd start playing it, and then I just have to stop after about 10 hours, just because, like, holy crap, how am I ever going to finish this otherwise? And I hate doing viewership math. It is the most uncomfortable thing I ever have to do. When it comes to, like, picking content and doing certain things. Let me see. Probably have just like a wall segment or something. I don't really know. I guess I could actually just mark that off. Okay, remove that. We want to grab this. That's a little ruined for what I'm doing here. Didn't I have like a staircase. But I probably don't want to use the staircase either. Let's see, object, or edit colors, there we go, recolor artwork and stuff. Nice blood red carpet. Maybe a little bit less blood red. Okay, that should kind of work. But yeah, trying to think of series that I'd want to finish. Most of them, yeah, really straight up are just JRPGs because they're so long. And I really would like to finish them. It's just like, to do so is not fun. Let's see. Lock that there. Probably can leave those corners hard. Yeah. There we go. At some point I'll probably kind of merge all this stuff together somehow. Later. I guess I could actually do that right now. Grab these, deselect the doors. Carpets. If Cockajoe's gonna remember to be wary of rugs. The rug mimic will definitively be something later. I will probably bring back the rug mimic. Just because. Okay, maybe a bit too saturated. This is Hazelhall, so we almost want it to be kind of brownish. Okay, let's take a look at this. That actually looks pretty good. Use the cross-hatching to determine the walls and stuff. Yeah, this is good. Let's see. Any really old games on your channel you'd like to pick up or restart because it was never finished in bad quality audio? Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, probably. That was like one of the first games that Shell and I ever played together. And I actually rather enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. Object transform. Right. Anyway, trying to think of other games. Blasphemous was pretty good. I would have enjoyed maybe finishing Blasphemous. I could make this thinner. It's like, it's almost there. Well... what do I do like that? That looks functional enough. What other games would I like to finish? To some small degree, Hollow Knight. Also, let's see, is this? No. Because I actually have never finished Hollow Knight. There's just an amount of DLC that I haven't, that I never got around to polishing off. Because that game is really hard. And so even if, like, even if I'd really like to perfect Godmaster, blah, 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 it's just brutal. And, like, trying to finish that off was not easy. The one problem is, I almost feel like this staircase has to be above the grid. Otherwise, it just looks weird. One way or another, not feeling too terribly about how that staircase is handled. Maybe. That might work better. Obviously, it looks a little stiff. But still, yeah, Nightmare Grim is hard. Yeah, that's my main beef, is just like, man, I would absolutely adore playing and finishing, you know, Hollow Knight, for example, or a couple other different games, but they're so difficult that, like, to do so would be brutal for me. What's another good example? Oh, I mean, this one actually might not be too hard, but I really, really, really would like to play, Bloodborne properly. Because I actually have never played, Bloodborne. Okay, let's see. So let's shift some things around. So for starters, we gotta switch this. You know, old assets can be repurposed, and repurposed well. Objects. Expand. There we go. I'm gonna grab that. We're just gonna use both of these right here and fill this out. Unfortunately, this gets kind of funky. Oh, I see how this is supposed to work. How the hell did this happen? How the... Alright, whatever. Because, yeah, this is actually supposed to be on the inside. Just do uniform. Because, yeah, these are supposed to be pulled in. It was supposed to... Confusing. Everything is confusing. Okay, next up. We actually want to use the same staircase coloration if we can manage it. Okay, grab that. Because, yeah, stairs might as well be wood. We might have to make the whole floors out of wood. But this will be okay. Guess who's on the big screen? What? I can't be. Am I? That'd be weird. Shouldn't be. Okay. This is a good system. So what's the music, specifically tonight? This specifically is from Moon Hunters, a game made by Kit Fox Games, the people that are making Boyfriend Dungeon. And Shattered Planet, actually. For those of you wondering with the origin of that campaign's name, it's because I thought that indie game had an absolutely lovely title. And also, they blew up a planet, so there's that. Okay. I always thought Moon Hunters was one of those roguelikes that absolutely did not get nearly the attention that it deserved. It was a pretty good game. Oh, well. Let's see. Oh, you're big screen TV in your room. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, there's no way I'm on the front page of Twitch. Because that was where my mind went first. And I was like, that would be sick as hell. But someday I aspire to get there under my own merits. But I highly doubt it'll be anytime soon. Oops. Okay, this can't be this high up. This ain't gonna work. There we go. That's a better staircase, and now they match. Oops. Get rid of that. And they match, and this one actually can be plugged in perfectly. Let's see. Since the hours are progressing, will we get some Temtem with Shell tonight? She's giving me sad eyes. So, my assumption is probably not. Not even if Shell gets the last cupcake? Because I actually would like to play a little bit of Temtem, maybe. Okay, Shell wants one more night to get her voice back. I think that's okay. So, tomorrow will be, Journey to the Savage Planet, which is a new Metroidvania that I'm really looking forward to. And then it'll be Temtem with the two of us. Because, yeah, I've been itching to play more Temtem. I still wish it was more unique than just being a pseudo-Pokemon clone. At the same time, there is just something really satisfying about that formula that I can't get enough of, I guess. Okay, edit, preferences, guides and grid. I'm gonna do 2 subdivisions. There we go. Okay, maybe a little tanner? Yeah, I think that looks alright. Okay. Perfect. I am glad that Kakujo likes my magic boy. Oh, I could actually put the magic boy on the map. I could. I won't though. I was gonna say it's like I could put him down, but maybe better if I put the magic boy down later. So the music is making you tired. I completely understand. Moon Hunters has a very meditative soundtrack. And I like it a lot. But I can totally understand how and why that would make somebody sleepy. Let's see. Next Friday? This is great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Select same. Fill color. It's a little saturated. A little fleshy. Is that better? Feels a bit better. But yeah, I've been kind of... I guess I haven't been too mum about this. But I haven't been talking about it that much. And now that we've got more or less the players ready and raring to go, I still got to make some character sheets. So we might actually end the night off with making a character specifically for Cocky Joe. We'll see. Because I do need to make a warlock. I need to make the Eternal Boy. Now, Shell's hard at work on her character. How's it going, Shell? She made like a noise. I'm going to suit. Okay, so we need a dais. Edit. I gotta change my keyboard shortcuts. So we want to do... Not tools. Menu commands? View. Snap to grid. I hate that. Let's see. Will Shell give any spoilers on her PC? She will be a druid. And druid. And that's about it. I'm sure we could actually bug her about more, but I think she'll enjoy displaying her character just kind of with everybody else. Okay, 70. Oh, that's so much easier. Bam. Dais. Bam. Rug. Actually, do we... Let's actually have the rug merge. Which, it really does look like a cock and balls. Oh well. Let's see, is the top middle not supposed to have a door? Yeah, it's a secret door. It is somewhat phallic. It's probably fine. I don't know. I struggle to make things not phallic. But, you know what? King's manhood's on display, I guess. Not that there's actually a king present at this point in the game. Oh shoot. These are I guess this is fine. Just move that up by one. Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. I guess, honestly, what I could do is... rotate it. Do something like that. See, I can have that merge. That'll be like that. I don't know what kind of rug this is, but it's less dick and more docking, but that's still less dick. It works for me. We're gonna enter this room and I'm just gonna start cracking up and people are gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna be like, you would not believe how long it took me not to get this to look like a cock and balls. And they'll be like, yep. I can see how that would have been an issue. There's an anchor for line weight there. And it sucks and I hate it. I guess we'll just do without. That's fine. It doesn't really have to be too fancy here. Let's see. It's almost tempting to actually... Yeah, let's do that. Same. Yeah, it's a lot more Hazel. Really like that. It'll be a little brighter. There we go. Let's see. Any gaming tonight? I have toyed with that. I have toyed with whether or not I specifically want to do gaming tonight or just do nothing but D&D art. I think I'm just defaulting to D&D art because I need to get a lot of D&D art done. And because, like, even if I were to play a game, I don't honestly know what I'd play for today. Tomorrow is easy, but today is hard. Main issue is I've got a bunch of new indie games coming out, like, this week. Indie and otherwise. And a lot of them are embargoed. And so, like, would like to maybe play stuff. But no matter what it would have to be something that I'd, like, never touch again after tonight. Because I don't have time otherwise. Let's see, could keep making art for the rest of the day. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Because, like, this is something I'm going to need to do later in the week. Because I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of D&D art specifically over the course of this week. And so the more I can front load, the better. Let's see. I think everybody starts with 1 feet shell. See, our Wander's S is really shrill. That's, in part, yes. I do have fairly shrill S's. I say as... Holy shit, there's a lot of S's that just go out of my mouth. Anyway. So, the answer is yes. My S's are shrill. It has just to do with how I speak, I guess. And then microphones make it so much worse. Yeah, and I'm on a headset mic, but that only matters so much. Let's see. You know, in retrospect, I could probably steal these and just reuse them later as like... two tiles. Okay, dang, all this lighting detail making me jelly. It's one of those where it's like, I'm not rushing yet, and if I'm lucky, I won't have to. And, if I do a lot of this, I can actually copy and paste it to other locations. Like if you notice, most of these fit within certain confines and can be scaled accordingly. So if I do this, I can actually use this in a lot of other locations for a lot of other things, if I want to. Like if we ever have another room that's kind of this general shape and size, I can just copy and paste this over and reuse it. That's what I get for being lazy and just using Roll20. I mean, I'm still going to be using Roll20. It's just going to be slightly fancier pants than your standard player. I only bring it up because the pitch of them are going right through you. I'm sorry. I really wish there was an easier way for me to talk without getting picked up, but unfortunately this is just kind of how microphones work. I've been working on this hall for too long. Well, we're almost done. Let's just finish it off. I'm just gonna be real boring. And just reuse a number of my assets, because people don't really need to see, like, a fully modeled kitchen. And why the kitchen is, why the kitchen is, you know, how would I describe it? Well, it's got potion bottles and whatnot. Why does it have that kind of stuff? Who knows? Don't question it. At some point, I'll get the requisite setup specifically to do kitchen biz. But I'd have to look at, like, what medieval kitchens look like, what they have in them. And that'll take time. Time that would be better off spent working on other things. Especially when I can just go bananas with assets that I already have. There we go. Great Hall. Done. Entry room probably ain't gonna have too much in it. Let's see. Couple of rooms. Now I'm extremely self-conscious. I'm so sorry. Also getting really hungry. Means I should probably go get some of Shell's chicken stew. Or just grab a brownie, tide myself over. Or stick it out for another hour and then just be done. I don't know. I said I was going to work on some characters. We're just going to fill this hall out. Medieval kitchens are usually just a room with a table in the center and oven near the center table. What I'd probably have is a bar along the side, small table here, and like an oven over here. I say, and then I'm like, oh, that's actually really simple. Really the oven that's the hard part. Wander, did you say mead? I probably said need or something. I have mead. I'm not entirely sure if I want mead right now, though. Okay. There you go. Separate that. Huh. Oh. Here we go. So we want to have an oven. Ovens are kind of big. I prefer to have the oven be here. Probably. Well, okay. I don't have snap to grid. What the hell are you doing? It's like it won't let me shrink anymore. That's really strange. Why is this happening? I've never even heard of this. It straight up won't let me, like, shrink things properly. That's odd. Oh, it has something to do with the corners here. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, this is behaving really strangely. Cause yeah, it's like it's locked the corners in. And so I can't shrink it any further because the corners can't shrink, but I haven't the foggiest on how to stop them from doing that. Unless I did no, that doesn't scale corners? Oh, there we go. Illustrator, you dumb sometimes. Okay. Wait. What do I even have selected? I have no idea. Expand this out. That a bit bigger. Okay. So, yeah, this will probably have to do for the time being. It's kind of an odd duck. But odd duck is fine. Make that even brighter. There we go. That's okay. Also, thank you, Brian J. and Associated Raiders. Well, I guess thank you, Brian J. for the raid, and welcome. And I can word. I'm getting a bit tired and a bit hungry, and so it's messing with the old brain. Anyway, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, how's the designing going? It's going great. I've pretty much got all of what I need to get this campaign ready and raring to go. Let's see. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Friday. And other stuff. I mean, obviously there's a lot to go, but if I were to DM tomorrow, I'd be prepared. Okay. That's what I might want to do. Turn that off. Write this out a bunch. That works. Spread these out. I'm just gonna add some bits. I guess I could do... Should probably have some kind of... I'm gonna say smokestack. Chimney? I don't know. Brain. Should definitely have something kind of going up. I guess in retrospect... I'm probably just going to have it, like, round out and disappear. Kind of like that. With the expectation that it's just going, like, out a little bit. It's so nicely gridded. Yeah, I work at a 70 pixel grid, which works really, really well for... works really, really well for Roll20. And I can just plop all my assets down to the game. Everything snaps beautifully, and I don't have to worry about any extra, like, complications or whatnot. And it just looks really, really nice. Oh. Let's see. This is way too overboard on an oven. But I'm probably going to use it often, so it's not the end of the world. Let's see. almost done here. We can deal with the lower parts. Yeah, it looks good enough. Yeah, this is always the kind of slow part, where I have a lot of free time and not a lot of immediate rush. So I start screwing around and coming up with like weird assets that I might never actually really need to use, but having it there is kind of nice. Technically, this is my favorite part of any D&D prep, where I'm not like super stressed out about like, oh shit, I need to make all these assets and get all of these things prepped. Me, Illustrator, or various art programs, and my work. This song is making you yawn. Yeah, it's making me yawn too. It's definitely making it hard for me to commentate. But I've also been going for what, 6 hours? 6 hours. It's not terrible. I've definitely done longer streams than this. Of art, in fact, but I'm out of practice. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. That's good. Okay, so we want to switch this to probably full orange. A bit brighter. Maybe a little bit on the red side. Yeah, probably good enough. Okay. Back into these. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I see. I only partly understand. I'm managing to do this. That's fine. I'm just gonna have these be separate things entirely. I almost feel like the oven should be moved back a bit. Yeah, that looks better. Obviously pops out, but that's okay. Let's see. So let's put this on the same layer with the stairs, so it kind of pops out from the grid. You're not really supposed to be there. You're not really supposed to do other things. Let's see. Why does it say roguelike roulette and Temtem when you've been doing for art for 6 hours? I should probably change that, but I will not be making it to either the roguelike roulette or Temtem today. I would like to. But yeah, I'm a little sick, I'm a little tired, and I got a whole lot of kind of artwork that I want to put together, specifically for my D&D campaign. So I ended up just overloading on this. So trying to change the schedule. Not exactly unheard of. I'm a little capricious with what I play and do, to be honest. Okay, let's go back into this. 1, let's snag that, move it out here. 2, let's actually select same fill color. Make this just a smidge darker. That way the crackling around the outside looks a little bit better. Oh, yeah, hopefully you feel better soon. I'm not... Like, I don't even know how the sickness works. Because, effectively, I've just been really tired lately. And, like, it's been easier for me to lose my voice. Which, part of that might just be winter doldrums. I'm not entirely sure. But it's definitely one of those where I've been a little bit more like, eh. And I don't like that. Okay. Well, this map really is kind of coming together. Let's make this a bit more saturated, I think. King sits here. He should probably have the fanciest place. Yeah, there we go. Hazelhall. So we'll still want to make a upper floor, but I've got a staircase that I can work with, so it's not so bad. We want to signify a secret door, which is actually really, really easy. Okay. I'm just getting really lazy at this point. That works. Okay, so will I have more than one entrance? Let's see. I actually do. Entrance 1, entrance 2. Plus maybe some kind of underground entrance, which might come into effect at some point during the campaign. Let's see. Right. Things that are in this room. Not much. Just treasure. Retrospect, I'm going to make this a bit smaller. These treasure boxes are way too big. Capacity is 0. That's better. This way we have treasure chests that are... let's see. Treasure chests that are still kind of part of the environment, but I can slap them down freely. I want to take one of these doors. Move it over here. Get rid of that. Move this down to the bottom. Chop that off. Plonk that there. Okay. So this way... As long as I don't reveal this room by accident, door signifies thing is there. Hard for anyone to find normally. Let's see. There's going to be a secret hatch. Ooh. Maybe we could do that. Whoops. Okay. Delete that. Okay, so this needs to be darker across the board. It needs to be like that. This program's kind of dumb sometimes. I'm like, align to point, and it's like, align to nothing. Gotcha. What? Okay. Keep making that darker. That darker. Okay. Only problem is... that there. That on top? Yeah. Let's see. It's a little pickier than I'd like it to be right now. That's okay. It's been a long time since I've done anything in Illustrator. It's throwing me off more than a little. But that's okay. See, chest could be the escape hatch. I think that's cool. Oh, you open the chest up and it's just not... Ooh, that's fun. You can also export that chest as an asset. That way you can delete it. Yep. I mean, that's more or less the plan. Ah, that's an interesting point. Oh. I think what I might want to do is actually integrate this chest in better. Okay. Eh. Okay, put that there. Grab that. Grab the chest. Make it bigger. I think I'll just leave it as such. People will notice it, and it'll be confusing. Let's see. I think I liked it better when it was just slightly smaller. But yeah, so ladder into the basement, secret compartment, I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. I think one way or another, it's going to be locked. Like, chances are they're going to find the secret room. Oh, wow, that was a sharp one. Chances are they're going to find the secret room before they ever find the key to this. And so, I don't know, that's a thing. Oh, one way or another, I think I'm going to stop working on this map for at least a little bit. We've made some serious headway, and I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. But it's a good idea for me to do at least a little bit more before I stop tonight. Let's see. There we go. That's a little redder. It was looking a little green. Okay. Oh. You know what? While we're here... I'm just going to include columns. I think the second floor is just straight up going to be bigger. What? Okay, there we go. I guess if I was crazy, I could actually map out, like, the shadow cast on the ground. But I think that would be a little bit much. One way or another, pretty happy with how this has turned out so far. Definitely going to want to spend some more time on this, because this is going to be, like, the main town that the players are going to be going through. I guess I should probably move this over. Whoops. Because the fountain should be directly out the front door. You know, there used to be something more here, but not anymore. Like the central hub? That's cool. Yeah, what I was actually hoping, to some small degree, is that there's only going to be 3 structures here, and then at a later date, so... I guess there would be 4 structures, because there's going to be the gatehouse, the farm, the main hall, and then a forge that is slightly further away. I'm going to make a tiny little map for that one. Next time. Probably using some of these assets at the very least. I'm going to be honest, the forge might straight up just look like the oven. But maybe just color shifted. Yeah, that would probably be an easy way of doing it. Plus an anvil, and then otherwise it's just using assets I've already made. And as we go along to the, as we go along with the story, there will be more buildings that kind of crop up in the areas they find and or recruit other NPCs. Because ideally, this is going to be a 4-chapter campaign, plus, if people are super down, a second season. And even with the second season, they'd probably still be coming back here. Unless things go completely different. I don't know. One way or another, I can also reuse all the assets freely.